Hey traders, so looks like we got a short-term bottom here. Things came down, well, the S&Ps came down to the 200 there, and yeah, we were monitoring them in the chat room, the green room there, and as the momentum began to stall, and what I was explaining in the room was this was strong momentum. Didn't mean to open that box, and then the momentum continued down toward the 200s. So we watch for slowing momentum. So once it forms a pivot, then it retested the pivot, and then it started to move up, which is probably close to ending in the short term. We just got a high tick extreme, actually the second one a few minutes ago. And as that comes up into this area, I think it'll stall. And so you can see on the 5 minute the acceleration on the 5. And typically, if the things have been trending for a little while and then it accelerates, it's near the end of the move. Now, of course, we're going to be closely watching to see where this closes. So we'd like to see it close above the open. If it closes below the open, it won't be terrible. But we want to see it, probably stay above 5,800. So with a bar like this, the bias is this downward move is probably not over, but buy the dips and look for it to bottom out here. So the news a little while ago that now they're starting to talk, and you might remember me saying this was probably coming in pre-market videos as things got worse and interest rates went down and the realization of the potential for a recession would come, and it still might come. The Fed's going to start talking about lowering interest rates. So now they're talking about 3 cuts. Yesterday there was no cuts, or last week there was no cuts. Now it's potentially 3 cuts. And of course, the market just loves that injection of liquidity. So we'll see how this retraces, what it's going to do here. Let's take a peek around. IWM, nice turn. And where is it? Near that pivot, it certainly looked like it was going to go down to 200. I wouldn't put that totally out of the question. We'll see how things shape up in the next few days. The diamonds, bottoming tail bar, nasty reversals like this, things aren't done in one day. And, if it was going down and things had plummeted lower, sure, maybe that would have been the case. Oil turning around right off support there. So that's a positive. Interest rates, TBT, had a nice reversal. The 10-year was down near support. We reviewed that this morning. So that reached its destination. The Qs turn around and punctured through the 200, but as we always say, moving averages are subjective. We always look to the left. Regional banks came off of the low there near that pivot. Short-term interest rates. I took a look at this. Maybe I thought it might be declining a little bit. We'll see what that does over the next several days. The volatility index thought it would get up here, thought the markets would go lower, but the news got things turned around. And what's up on the day? Tech is the best performer. And this certainly needed to be some kind of relief with this breakdown. Now, it's a nasty, ugly pattern. It's not on any support. It's going to take time to back and fill. Let's take a peek in the video here. Yeah, trying to get turned around, having a good day. Materials, bottoming action. So you can see, oil, bottoming action, stabilization everywhere. And, yeah, that's what I wanted to see, staples. I want to see staples start coming down. I want to see profit taking. It came up to that prior high. We want to see some money rotate out of staples, and just like it is, into some technology and semiconductors, some stabilization there. So we'll see how this unfolds in the coming days, but this is a good start. It certainly looked like prices had to go lower. It's been a news-driven market. News comes out today, and so while the tariffs are starting, some rate cuts will help. It's kind of like a back and fill here. So as time goes on, their juggling here is going to be between tariffs, slowing things down, how they balance rate cuts and trying to hold inflation from continuing, right? Well, you saw CPI a couple of weeks ago. Does inflation begin to increase here? So in the coming weeks, that'll be the balancing act to see how they handle this and when the next rate cut is coming. I think they mentioned it. I think they said June, but I wasn't listening that intently. I just heard 3 rate cuts, and I said, okay, here we go. So the bottom here that began as it was unfolding down here, and we covered, and now as this is moving up here on a short-term basis, it's certainly time to take some money off the table. As a day trader, raise stops significantly, and we'll see where it goes. As always, if you have questions, email us, Greg and Dan at Master Trader.